It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
Oh, yes. Time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive radio experience. I'm Nick Miles, and you're listening to America's Automotive Radio Show. Test Miles, locally created, nationally celebrated. This morning's teams of misfits, rapscallions, and ne'er-do-wells in the studio. I have to tell you, we're not all doing too well this morning. It was the Test Miles holiday party last night, and in true Test Miles form, things were a little exciting there. But it did end fairly early. Normally these parties go on to like 4 a.m. We managed to get everybody. I think the last guest left about 12:30, so it wasn't too bad. In fact, you were in bed. You left pretty early, didn't you, Sean?
Yeah, I left at, I think, 11 o'clock.
Wow, look at you go, 11 o'clock.
I'm getting old.
And
I was tired.
Jenny, you left at what time, about 11 too? Or
11:30.
11:30, wow. Jenny got his curfew lifted.
Wow.
He was allowed to stay out a little late and do
Have
other
the go-kart up, go home.
No, he had a chauffeur last night.
Wow. Is that why Brad's not here?
Yeah. Brad unfortunately had to pull duty and do the Great Wolf Lodge with the kids. So he had to go up and do that. We often fight family time for Brad on Sunday mornings. He manages to sneak away some. Well, honey, it's work. I gotta go. He manages to sneak away. All right, so we have been driving some interesting vehicles this week. I have been driving two vehicles, almost polar opposites, not quite one from the other. The first one, the Honda CR-V. Of course, this is the best-selling mid-size SUV in North America, a crossover. Very nice little vehicle, a 5-door compact crossover, exceptional fuel economy, abundant passenger and cargo room. Nifty folding rear seats. Honda do really well with utilizing all the space inside of their vehicles, and it has appealing tech and safety. The engines are okay, but not great engines in this vehicle. It's very hard when you drive lots of very fast, high horsepower V8s, and then you get into vehicles like a family vehicle, and then I always come up with the scenario. It doesn't perform that great, but the truth is it does perform absolutely necessarily. It just doesn't 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds.
Yeah, but it's designed for a family. I mean,
exactly.
My kids would love to go 0 to 60 in that, but
we don't have
safe.
We have to customize those vehicles when we want them. So it's an interesting vehicle. I would tell you the only big downfall of Honda Acura products is their integration with Bluetooth. It is very difficult to do, and it doesn't do well.
Their updates are their newest Bluetooth system actually does.
Right,
well.
and I'm not sure that's in the CR-V. It may be. I'm not sure if it's the latest software that they have in there. So what does this vehicle have under the hood? If you're interested in horsepower, it has a 2.4 four-cylinder engine, 185 horsepower. It has the CVT transmission. Honda doing pretty well with their CVTs. Haven't had any major problems with them. Front wheel or all-wheel drive version, 29 miles a gallon is the combined. That's 26 on the city streets and 33 on the highways. Ford Escape is its competition, along with the Nissan Rogue, the Chevy Equinox, and also the Jeep. I would say probably the Jeep Cherokee, the Hyundai Tucson, and the Toyota RAV4. Comes in 5 different trim levels, starting price under $25,000. And for the best-selling mid-size SUV in America, compact SUV in America, it's a pretty nifty little ride. The other vehicle I was driving was 180 degrees from that. It was the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Now, the thing I like most about the TRD Pro is the sound it makes. I can put my foot down and hear the air being sucked into the engine, and it makes such a delicious sound. I think I just burned through a tank of gas listening to how beautiful it is.
It's a beefy sound. I enjoy it.
It's definitely one of the beefier. It brings me to think that this vehicle may have had, I wonder if Toyota hired some Dodge engineers to help them build the engine, because it really does sound beautiful and it's really powerful. It's a medium duty off-road vehicle, very strong V8 powertrain, large double cab with traditional rear doors, user-friendly, lots of cool tech. I will tell you, it doesn't have push button start, which I wish it did. It's just basically a key fob with lock and unlock the doors, and then the old style key. I think that could be updated. Plus, it has the original old shifter instead of the rotary shifter that a lot of truck companies are putting in now. It has a proper automatic shifter in it.
I actually like that.
You do? Well, here's the problem with that. It takes up the size of a shoebox, whereas the rotary one takes up the size of a fist, so you get a lot more room in the center console.
I understand that, but it's just, I still like the feel of an old school shifter in my hand as I'm driving. I get used
Something
to
to hold on while you're driving?
Yeah. I drive pretty crazy. You know that. So it's just, I still like the feel of it. I get used to the manual or the little shift knob like in the Ram and everything, but I still like the shift knob. And it's a beefy knob as well, so it's perfect.
You like your truck stuff. You can operate it with your working gloves on.
Yeah.
I will tell you one thing they do out of the park here is they're really good at finding little cubbies for things. 3 cup holders up front, which I'm always looking for one for the keys and this. But they also have a cell phone area, which is exactly the right size for my cell phone.
Yeah,
which
in
fits
the
perfectly.
center dash.
In the armrest, the center armrest.
Armrest, excuse me.
So that does really well. All right, a few more figures of this. We're starting to run out of time in this segment already. Below average fuel economy. Yeah, it's a V8. We have to get used to that. 5.7 liter V8, 381 horsepower, 6-speed auto, rear wheel, all-wheel drive. Top miles a gallon is 17. The city is 13. Combined is 15. It goes up really against the Ram 1500 Rebel and the Titan XD as its 2 competitions. Sean, what have you been driving?
I've been driving the Kia Optima SX Turbo, and the Optima is the best-selling nameplate for Kia. This one now has an updated front end, just more kind of dynamic, sporty look to it. They made it look more like the K900, which I kind of love. I love walking up to an Optima. It's funny because this just isn't one of your super luxury cars, but the week I drove this, I had a smile on my face the whole time because it's a car that I would totally own. I've sold probably multiple cars to my friends and family of this car, and
and then now they put quilted seats in it too.
Yeah, I mean the interior just looks so luxurious for the price that you're getting. Basically, you can get into a Kia Optima at $24,000. Fully loaded, you're looking around, what, $34,000, $35,000? And it's one of those cars that if you actually topped it out, you don't feel robbed that you spent that kind of money. Have a panoramic sunroof, 2-liter turbocharged engine that has 275 horsepower. 274 horsepower. Gets 25 miles to the gallon. Its competitions, the Ford Fusion, Mazda 6, Nissan Altima, Camry, Accord. And in my opinion, I think it's better than all those cars. Might not show it sales-wise, but hands down, if you get in that car and drive those ones, you'd be happy with the Optima.
It's funny, someone was asking me about, they have a Hyundai right now, and they were saying, I want to get a new car, and I suggested, look at these, and the list included Kia, and they went, oh, I don't know if I really want a Kia. I said, they're the same company as Hyundai. They're owned by the same company. It's the same head designer. They were like, what?
They're like the sporty end, where Hyundai's kind of more the luxury end.
Or I would say Hyundai is more mature, and Kia is a little bit like,
I can see that.
Loud. So,
but yeah, I mean, 6 of my friends own this car because they've asked me what car would I go out and buy, and I've said a Kia Optima, and they've literally gone out and bought one. So it's a fantastic car. I have to get into one if you don't believe me.
All right, Zhenya really wants to talk about a car. What do you want to talk about?
So last year I drove the McLaren 12C in Forza, and now I've gotten into the updated version of the 12C, which is a 650S, which McLaren has given a facelift and given the 12C more power. And I adored the 12C, and now I've driven the 650S. It is absolutely amazing. It has more power. It has 25% of the parts that are new. The look pays tribute to the P1. There's more advanced aero. I absolutely adore this car. It's so fun to drive. And on the track, it is absolutely amazing.
And we should remind people
it's just insane.
He's talking about Forza, by the way. He's not talking about on the real track, just in case anyone started to get worried about how our 14-year-old intern's driving these cars. I would ask you, how did you open the vehicle? Did it just come out? Did you get enough points to get it?
No, I bought it on a DLC.
Oh, all right. So it was an under the table deal. Oh, there you go. He's buying cars. All right, still to come, we're going to talk about the North American International Auto Show. Inside information about what's new at the show. Also, we're going to find out about some of the cars that are rumored to be revealed. Then the guys from Hard Notched Customs are going to be in the studio. I will tell you, I'm in love with the work that these brothers do. Their vehicles look absolutely outstanding. And of course, we can't forget, Peter Clover's going to be here with the best deals at Mobile West. They have some amazing deals. If you're last minute shopping for the car nut in your family, those are the people to talk to. It's all coming up next. Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
It's Test Miles on FM News 101. Test Miles, like NASCAR, but with one right turn. TestMiles.com.
Whoa, welcome back to Test Miles on FM News 101 KXL, the automotive radio show, live from our studios in downtown Portland. For the latest automotive radio news, follow us at Test Miles on Twitter. All right, fun fact time.
Here's a fun fact. The Honda Prelude was the first mass-produced car that featured a mechanical four-wheel steering system. In its debut year, it beat every car in a slalom test, including Porsches and Ferraris.
And that technology is still in Honda and Acuras today. All right, the North American International Auto Show happens in January in Detroit. It's the Super Bowl of auto shows. And I will tell you, it's probably one of the biggest shows in the world with all the reveals around the new year. Now, here are some of the rumors of what you might be able to see at this year's show. And they are rumors. I can't confirm any of them. The 2017 Honda Ridgeline, the Acura Precision Concept, BMW's M2 and the X4, a new Infiniti QX60 and Q50, Ford's Fusion, and something else big from Ford. And I don't know any information about this, but I'm going to guess it's either going to be a Ranger pickup or a Bronco. The Lexus LFLC, Mercedes-Benz new E-Class, the Volvo S90. So there's a lot of interesting vehicles that are rumored to be seen. Yes, Yenya.
Continental?
Well, we know that's coming. These are rumors.
I heard that the Ridgeline was confirmed to be at the auto
I think
show.
it got confirmed since I wrote this. Okay. So it did change. All right, we have a friend on the inside of the show who can tell us things about the show. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to tell us anything about those cars revealed, but he can tell us all about the show itself. Joe is with the PR team from the show, the biggest show, North American International Auto Show. Joe, it's kind of the big boy of the auto shows in the United States, isn't it?
It is, Nick, and so happy to be with you. Merry Christmas to you and all your listeners there in Portland. And I look forward to seeing you in actually only a few months or a few weeks. I'll be out at the Portland Auto Show as well. But, Detroit, and by the way, I think it's the Bronco. I think that's you may have called it. I think it's the Bronco. I don't know if I tell you that officially. I either tell you or myself. Something's gotta die.
You can't. Yeah, we're not going to put you on the spot for that. I'm pretty sure it's the Bronco too. That's a sort of internal rumor, and it's based on the F-150 platform. But you know what? The only way to find out is to be at the show, or at least see all the media from the show. So let's talk a little bit about the show. It measures up against the other domestic shows as pretty much the biggest show in North America, right?
Yeah, it really does. You know, we don't compare ourselves to other domestic shows per se. There are 65 shows in North America, as you know, as monitored by Auto Shows of North America. But there are, 3 or 4 big ones, and Detroit is the largest, but certainly other respected shows are New York and L.A. And Chicago, though Chicago has struggled in recent years, but still a large show, a great market, and attendance of well over 1 million people. But Detroit tends to be compared more with shows in Frankfurt, Geneva, Paris, Beijing, Shanghai, Tokyo, which just had a spectacular show in October. And part of the reason of that is because there's a sanctioning organization in Paris called OICA, and it's a Organization International Constructors des Automobiles. And it's kind of a sanctioning body that looks at the number of reveals that you have each year, the number of press, the international press that you attract each year, and that's sort of a chicken and the egg thing, as you know. If you have the reveals, the press will come. If the press are there, the reveals will come. But then there's another interesting part, and that is the level of CEOs, or the level of executives, I should say, that are attracted to your show. You know, the Carlos Ghosns of the world, if you will. And Detroit has always had, you know, the Asian manufacturers will say to you that they save their best for Detroit. And so they'll get the top CEOs of many of those companies. And it's no surprise that this year, actually, Detroit will have a stellar list of CEOs, maybe more than any other year in the past. So
I
that's
heard.
a big deal.
I heard an internal rumor that the head of Toyota is going to be there, but we'll save that for the show. What's the theme this year, Joe?
You know, it's called All Roads Lead to Detroit, and it actually has a West Coast tie-in to it because Rod Alberts, as you know, has a nice relationship with many automotive organizations around the country. One of them is the Harold LeMay Museum out in the Washington. Is that Tacoma, I believe?
Yep.
And so he and the director. David Medeiros of that museum got together during our show last year, and they wanted to find a way to extend the reach of the show. As it is now, we're already 4 shows in one. There's press preview, there's industry preview, there's charity preview, which raises, you know, $4.5 million in one night for children's charities, and then there's a public show. So it's a 9-day show altogether. But so you couldn't really add anything on the end of it because then you're dipping into Chicago, which is next, and we wouldn't want to interfere with any of that. So we took a few days in advance, and about a week before the show opened, 4 classic vehicles from the LeMay Museum, all which were manufactured in Detroit. These are muscle cars from the 60s. They're going to head out to Detroit. And it's going to be sponsored by State Farm and a number of other sponsors. And media will be in the seats, and they'll change here and there, but they're going to take the ride. So All Roads Lead to Detroit is kind of the theme, and it's going to kick off with that little parade. They'll come down Woodward Avenue, their own little mini dream cruise.
Right.
And you know, the cars will be all salted up and everything from the long trek, but they'll get here and then the party begins.
So I know Cobo has undergone a whole bunch of renovations this year. How is the location? How is the floor going to be different for 2016?
Yeah, you know, every few years you need to, a show organizer will tell you really need to shake things up a little bit. But the manufacturers and the exhibit companies they've done a phenomenal job this year. About 65 or 70% of the exhibits are new or significantly improved or changed. So as media and public walk out onto the show floor, they'll get this breath of fresh air. Everything's going to be new and unique and different, and things are changing with technology. And you know, companies like George P. Johnson and EEI and all these world famous exhibit builders have involved all this interactivity and, you know, branding and entertainment. So
wow.
You know, it's going to be a brand new show floor, and Cobo Center is spectacular now. It's finally a world class venue, and I'm born and raised in this area, so we've sort of limped along with Cobo Center for a number of years. But the last 3, they spent, you know, several $1 million to renovate and update, and it's a beautiful facility.
I'm really looking
suitable.
I'm really looking forward to it. It happens in January. I'll be there for KXL here reporting, and also on Coin. Joe, thanks so much for joining us. Coming up next, we're going to talk more about our Project Tyrant and also find out what's on deals for the holidays. This is Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
Throw it in neutral and coast in with testmiles.com.
Live from our studios downtown Portland, Sunday morning. This is America's Car Radio Show. I'd like to thank you for being part of the Car Nation. For more fun facts about cars, go to our Facebook page at Test Miles.
Here's a fun fact. The first car to use a rear-view mirror was driven by inaugural Indy 500 winner Ray Harron in 1911 to see cars catching up behind him.
It would be really nice if people actually use those rear view mirrors too. See, he invented it for a reason. All right. Are you looking for the perfect truck or SUV? Well, you may not be able to find one on a dealer lot. You may have to customize it yourself. But you don't have to go very far to find a rockin' place to do that. In fact, the best customization destination in the U.S. is Hard Notch Customs, just across the river in Vancouver. Sometimes I just go to their website to help myself get through the day and look at some big, beefy trucks with some very, very, very cool accessories. Joel and Matt are here from Hard Notch Customs. Gentlemen, if I was to ask you to explain what you do, would you be able to do that? I mean, in just one word, because it seems like you do so much.
I guess probably just saying, give everybody the truck that they want, like something a little bit different, a little bit, off the beaten path, and give you some function to it as well. So I'd have to say function would be, what we add. Anything
you can do with a welding torch, basically. Is that how it works?
Basically,
you
can
weld it onto a truck. You'll make it happen for somebody. I mean, I have to tell people that it's almost impossible to explain to anybody what you do unless you go and look at pictures. If you go to hncusa.com, that's a Hard Notch Customs. At USA.com, hnc.usa.com. Go look at some of the pictures and please put more up because I need to see more different pictures of what you guys do. You do everything from sort of this heavy duty truck to some very sort of cool green powder coated chromified pretty or rugged. You do it all. Dualies, the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Both. Basically, we have a duty option, which is winch ready. That's for the guys who go out and use their trucks, and also we have a side that's our beauty line that's just set up for LED light bars.
And so you can be either pretty or dirty. Is that it?
Basically.
You have two choices, pretty or dirty. What sort of volume are you guys doing of trucks? Are you doing how long does it take you to do one? Like from hours just to bolt something on to days to where you're getting the welding torches and cutting gear out?
It's about a 3-week turnaround from orders to ship out.
From when a truck arrives?
Well, about 85% of our stuff's all mail out, so people all over the country, can go through our website, pick out their options of, what they're looking for as far as their winch bumpers, with the different lighting options. Then from there, we take it, we laser cut it, we bend it, we weld it all up, grind the outside smooth, then sandblast, powder coat. Then she's, getting ready to slap on, in town at our shop or, mail it out to you for them to do an installation.
So standard stuff. So you have some stuff people can pick from a catalog. So they want this kind of bumper on the front, they want this kind of cattle guard on the back, or they want a winch bumper on the front. You do that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we, we do everything in house. We kind of go the extra steps. So we design a specific bumper for each generation of truck and vehicle. So every couple of years, when their new body style comes out, we get one of the vehicles, break it all down, pull off all the factory stuff, and let's make this a little bit beefier. Let's make this a little bit better. Let's give some functionality to it. Or capabilities to have a winch and the big aftermarket lights and light bars, and and give it that one of a kind look. Where we can change the color of it. We can give you we've got 5 different brush guard options you can choose from. Just kind of make it something that's not off the not everyone else's truck. Where we can make it. Reflect a little bit of their personal style as well as, make it useful.
I'm actually thinking I'm going to have to start a website of all the local guys that do really cool stuff because we have them on the show every week.
Can we get on that list?
Yeah, absolutely. People are saying, "Oh, how do I get my interior done?" I said, "Well, you go to Peter at Mobile West. So how do I get my bumpers done? You go to Hard Notch Customs. How do I get my interior cleaned? You go to Premier Detailing with Ryan, and those sort of things." There's a lot of guys asking me those questions all the time. So you guys are going to be working on Project Tyrant, which is our big vehicle. It's going to be shown at the Portland International Auto Show. It's going to be part of the half-hour special we're doing for local TV. So these were the rules around that car. Joel, the sales manager over here at Alpha Media, managed to get us a 1999 Suburban. We took it down to Brian down at Certified Automotive Repair in Salem, who had to put a new motor in it because the motor was thrashed. So he put a new 5.7 in there. Bowler put an exhaust, gave us an exhaust. We stuck that on. We got some really cool wheels, and then it's going to end up going over to Peter. He's going to do the interior. And the idea of this vehicle was we wanted to make it like a Baja 1000 vehicle. It had the full rules. It had to be drivable on the street at freeway speeds. It had to be off-roading. You could do off-roading. It had to be economical, which means I didn't have to fill up at every gas station I passed, just maybe every other one. And then you had to be able to sleep in it for a week if you had to in the middle of the desert or at the coast or down at the Baja. And now you guys are going to do some fun stuff, bolt on the front and the back with it. What's running through your head because you've seen the vehicle?
Yeah, I think it's a great candidate for it. I think we're gonna, get the winch in there, get some of the pod lights. I think we're gonna go with the pre-runner style brush guard, kind of give it that, that Baja 1000 kind of look. Then, winches front and rear. If you're going to go out there in the desert, you want to be able to make sure that, if you do get stuck, you can get yourself out.
Right. And one of my big things is I want to see those update the grills a little bit in the vehicle. I think it's one of the simplest things that people can do to a vehicle to completely change how it looks is change the grill material.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't really do that very much when they get a vehicle. So, you take off the Chevy sign at the front and maybe we put a Test Miles badge on the front, or you do something that's kind of cool just to makes it look a little bit more than it actually is.
Oh, definitely. Sky's the limit. We have the capacities and the capability, where we can make that happen.
And I also definitely got to sit you down with Peter from Mobile West because he's got all these really cool LED light systems and stereo systems. We can wire it all together. I would like flamethrowers too. Do you know a guy? Do you know anybody that supplies flamethrowers?
Yeah, we're might as well do it.
we can find some way to safely put flamethrowers on the front. I think now
probably won't be safely, but we can still do it.
And I feel like flamethrowers really help you when you got stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the things to use.
Gets people out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Our bumpers do a pretty good job at starting to get people out of the way, but just icing on the cake with some flamethrowers.
Yeah, I did a great story for TV, national TV, like a year and a half ago or so. That there is no height requirement for bumpers on trucks. There is no law. So bumpers on trucks don't have to meet in manufacturing, don't have to meet certain requirements. And we looked at the vehicles that caused the most insurance damage in the United States. And it was really interesting, of course. And the one that came up was actually the QX80 from Infiniti. That causes the most insurance. Now, you have to think about who maybe buys that.
Yeah.
It may not just be the truck issue. It may be a driver issue.
Yeah, exactly. There could be a correlation.
Right.
Associated
So
with that.
it's interesting, but the bumpers are so high on that the insurance companies pay out the most money for wall damage, curb damage, other vehicle damage, light post damage in those vehicles.
That's too funny.
Yeah, it's interesting. So if you could give me a bumper that does a lot of damage, I'd be very, very happy.
Done.
on that vehicle.
And the cool thing is, like, a lot of these insurance companies are kind of starting to, like when there is damage, like if somebody's hit a deer or another vehicle, the insurance companies are kind of starting to get behind to the fact that, hey, there's better aftermarket alternatives of throwing another factory bumper on there that's going to do the same thing.
I'm surprised at the amount I got rear-ended in a Lexus about 3 or 4 years ago, and I could hardly see any damage. But the repair price, and it had to have a new bumper and new mounts and everything, was $4,000.
Oh yeah,
That plastic's expensive.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard-notched custom bumper every time.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get that Lexus in here.
Yeah, much cheaper than putting the new bumper on the back. It's almost a lot of fun too. So you guys are going to get Project Tyrant in the next few weeks. If somebody wants to get hold of you and they want to come down and find out what they can do to their truck, we also tell me how they do that. Is the best way to contact through the website, or is there a phone number? What's the best way to do it?
Either way, we're real responsive, on our social media as well too. So, our website's www.hncusa.com. They give us a shout on the phone 360-205-3252. Or hit us up and follow us on, on our social media, our Instagram, Facebook pages and stuff like that, where, if they got any questions or, we can get them answered and, get an application for them.
Awesome. So the next stage is you'll get Project Tyrant, and we'll follow that on social media too. And that'll be part of the TV special as well. I'm kind of excited about that. So.
Perfect. It's going to be a fun build. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for coming in. The Hard Notch Custom Brothers, Joel and Matt. You can get hold of them at hncusa.com. And, of course, they'll do their best to make your truck the beefiest one in the city. But it's a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one deal, guys. Thanks, guys. Coming up next on Test Miles, Peter Clover here from Mobile West. He's going to show us the best holiday deals for the car nut that's still to come. I'm Nick Miles.
FM News 101.
All right, live from our studios downtown Portland, Sunday morning. This is America's Car Radio Show. I'd like to thank you for being part of the Car Nation. For more fun facts about cars, go to our Facebook page, Test Miles ENT.
Here's our final fun fact. The first automobile product that Motorola tried to develop was a record player for cars. Eventually, they produced the first car radio.
Thank goodness, because that record player, man, you skip from one track to another as you were driving over those bumps down the road. It was probably a lost idea. No longer are people making record players for cars that work.
Didn't Scion make one?
We had a
like
DJ. We had a DJ.
Yeah, like
booth,
when the
but it's not
XP
while you
first
were
came.
driving.
That'd be kind of fun, though.
No,
Yeah,
my vinyl
it'd
would
be-
get trashed. I wouldn't do that to my vinyl.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that to my vinyl either.
There
I
you
would do
go.
it to mine, but you could do it to someone else.
All right, Peter Clovis here from Mobile West on MLK. Mobile West, of course, Autocraft, doing everything you want from your interior car, just making it personal, like beautiful interiors, beautiful audio, stereo, and all the accessories that go with that. Peter is here with his holiday deals, which you can get exclusively from him, thanks to him being on Test Miles. So, Peter, every deal you do flies out the door. You have limited quantities, so it's up to the listeners to respond to them. Throw us your best deals this week.
Okay, this is the week before Christmas. This is time to get those stocking stuffers that we've forgotten to get for people. So, we've done some pretty crazy things over the last couple of weeks, which has been fantastic. And thank you, Test Miles listeners, for responding as well as you have. This week, okay, if you have somebody that needs Bluetooth, Blaupunkt CD players with Bluetooth, $100.
Ooh,
Right, just
Blaupunkt?
crazy. $100. Just come in,
ready to go.
ready to go.
All right, and you can also help install them.
It's what we do
All right.
every day.
Good. That's a great deal. That's not
Exactly.
Dad, that's what you get in your car. Okay, next.
Exactly. Dad, mom, kids, anybody.
Earmuffs don't listen to that part.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For the teenage boys in your life, Kenwood subwoofer, amplifier, whole bass packages.
Teenage boys. I'm 50 and I like a big subwoofer.
Absolutely. $150.
Oh, nice.
I mean, just
ready
come,
to go.
Boxed up, put it underneath the tree, make everybody happy. They will have all sorts of joy on Christmas Day.
My nephews were getting headphones. Oh, I probably shouldn't say what they were getting for Christmas, but now they're getting,
probably
now
not
they're
a good
getting
idea.
subwoofers now.
They're getting subwoofers now. Guess what?
Next.
Exactly. Sony touchscreen Bluetooth DVD player in-dash unit. So
Nice.
full modern tech.
Right.
$250.
Touchscreen?
Touchscreen. Yeah.
$250.
$250.
Nice.
Bluetooth, multi-phone pairing, iPhone, Android phone, all the above. Just beautiful.
And again, you can help install them.
It's what we do.
All right.
Okay. Next deal. Top of the line Alpine R-Type speaker set.
Right.
6-speaker package. Replace all the speakers in your car.
Right.
All of them. $350.
Nice.
This week only.
And that's the R line.
Yeah, that's the top of the line. The R stuff. The good stuff.
Yeah, that's. I don't think I've seen one speaker on sale for that.
No, not at all. No, you haven't.
Six. Wow.
Exactly. And then Blaupunkt touchscreen navigation, Bluetooth, CD, DVD player, all the above with a backup camera.
Ooh, now you're talking my language.
All the above. Come update your car, be
Right.
like a new car, $450.
With a backup camera
With the backup camera.
and a DVD player.
Oh yeah. And
I love it.
Touchscreen, navigation, phone calling, all of the above.
How much would that cost to install?
It depends on the car. Roughly about $250 in labor plus vehicle specific parts. Take half a day.
maybe a Hyundai Tucson, you could stick that in for around $250.
Yeah,
All right,
easy peasy.
there you go. There you go, Mom. That's what you're getting, Mom. That's awesome. All right. So, and anything
So-
else you want for your car as well? You have it all.
All of the above. Also, don't be afraid to just come on by, take a peek. If you don't know what your people want, let's just get them set up with a gift certificate. Have them come pick it up, whatever they want to do after Christmas.
Are you going to have good prices on December 26th?
Of course.
Actually, that's a Sunday, so it'd be 27th. No, that's a Saturday. Yeah, 20. You'll be up on 26th.
We'll be open on the 26th.
So you'll have good
and of
prices.
course, because we've been the fair, honest neighborhood guys for 40 years.
Right.
We are not a chain store.
Right.
We are not trying to fly corporate jets.
Right.
We're
So-
guys that love music, cars, and audio, and we just make happy customers every day.
I don't think Sean and I have got out of your place in under 2 hours, maybe 3.
Yeah,
every time we go in,
time I've been there is probably 3 hours.
yeah, every time we go in, we're pushing buttons and playing with something and watching somebody pull something together. It's really awesome. down there. And I also tell everybody, you got to go listen to it.
It is all about the listening,
Yeah.
the touching and feeling, because there's lots of stuff out there that when you actually use it, that you don't like it.
Mobile West on MLK. What's the website, Peter?
mwpdx.us or mobilewestpdx.com.
All right, go find your holiday gifts. We are going to celebrate the holidays with our families. We'll be back to see you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We're really, really glad that you're a real part of our Test Miles family. And we will see you shortly after the holiday season. I'm Nick Miles, and this is Test Miles.
Test Miles, like NASCAR, but with one right turn. TestMiles.com.